say wins, what happens?
I think it will be the cause of the greatest mental health crisis in the history of the country.
Are you being serious?
100% serious. I think there'll be alcoholism, there'll be broken marriages.
What?
Yeah. It'll be less anger and more a failure to understand how it could happen. So traumatic that it is impossible for even the most mentally healthy person to truly process and incorporate into their daily life.
Hey fam, welcome back to another video. Welcome back to another reaction. This is Segovia coming to you live from the Man Cave. Hope everyone out there is having a good day, y'all. Happy Monday. It's Monday Night Football today. Oh, it's been a long year, but I'm still going to be in front of that TV watching the game. But we're back with another reaction, y'all. Hope everyone had a good weekend. I ain't going to sit here and talk your guys' ears off. I got a lot to do. Got to get this reaction out the way. Get it out to the beautiful CaveFam. Enough with the chit chat. Let's go and get into the reaction. Enjoy the show.
Know that recycling is fake. We all spend all of this time very diligently trying to save the earth and separate our paper and our plastics and our garbage, and then we take it out to the curb and we put it in different color buckets, and potentially different companies come pick up the recycling, and then they take it very cautiously and place it in a nice neat pile, and they recycle it and make a toothbrush a month later, and that really actually is false. A while back we did try recycling, but we proved that it is an endeavor that loses massive amounts of money, and so instead of telling the general public we're no longer doing it because we're losing money and we don't really care if we save the earth, we just kept the system going so that it had the appearance of doing the same thing. Feel free to look it up. The percentage of raw materials that are actually able to be used to recycle is so small that there's really no value add.
And a shaft that you rotate.
So, I mean, like on the space station, how many of these would you have?
7, because we have 7 windows.
What happens if you get a leak on that?
Then you have a leak.
You just have a leak.
And what you would do
is...
You
lose air.
Yeah, you would probably seal the whole cupola off. And then there's probably a plan, I don't know off the top of my head, but there's probably a plan for replacing the mechanism. Might require a spacewalk.
So my question is, how can you operate a lid on the outside of the space station by manipulating something mechanical on the inside of the space station without losing air pressure?
It's called real good engineering.
What the mission goals are for your time on orbit and what responsibilities and jobs are going to be yours when you're up there.
Well, I'm one of the science guys and I'm one of the repair guys. And fortunately, there's lots of science and lots of repair to do on station, so that will certainly keep us all busy. I'd go to the moon in a nanosecond. The problem is we don't have the technology to do that anymore. We used to, but we destroyed that technology, and it's a painful process to build it back again.
All right, so now I'm standing on the highest peak of the temple, and I want to show this to you guys. I find this absolutely amazing. First, notice the enormous megalithic lintel, and then to the side you have these really long stones. It's kind of a polygonal shaped stone, and you have these horizontal bands in 2 courses. But then on this side, instead of 2 courses, you have one enormous square-like stone to the left of the lintel.
What happens when we fast? So the longer that you're in a fasted state, the more healing mechanisms show up. When we look at 13 to 15 hours, that's where we start to see growth hormone. We start to see that the body brings down glucose and insulin. We see that the body starts to make ketones. You know, autophagy fasting is 17 hours. I mentioned that, where it starts to, the cells start to clean themselves up. Toxins get pushed out of the cell. 24 hours of fasting, we start to see that actually the whole gut microbiome repairs. We actually have bacteria that needs the help and of something like a fasted state to start to thrive. When we look at like 36 hours, the research is showing that you can start to tap into more fat burning. 48 hours, we get the whole dopamine system starts to reboot. And then Walter Longo brought us the 72-hour fast, which is really resetting your whole immune system. Each one of these has like a different healing mechanism. And then you pair that with good food, and now you've created the 2 amazing healing states.
Okay, a trick to know if your honey is real or not is the flip test. Okay, ready? See how fast this bubble's going up and how slow this one's going up? This is real honey. This is fake honey. Fake honey. Okay, I'll get a new bottle. New bottle, new tester. Let's try
Get the bear everybody gets.
Aunt Sue's and then our local. See how fast that goes up? Look at this bubble. She's still working her way up. Fake honey. Fake honey. Anyway, if you question your honey, do the flip test. Works every time.
Wow.
This is crazy. Hobby Lobby prices are different depending on where they are in the row.
Now this is crazy. I need to put this to the test because I'm moving into a new house. It's been stressful. Still don't know when it's gonna happen. But I'm going to Hobby Lobby to check this out.
So same picture as that one, right? This one is $39. Same picture, same thing. This one is $34.99. Same picture. This one is $32.99.
What the hell is that?
That's honestly crazy.
Meat and veggies. So chicken breasts and vegetables, or fish and vegetables. It can be turkey or steak and vegetables. It can be eggs and veggies. Stick to meat and veggies. If you do that for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and you cut out all the sweets, the desserts, all the chips, and if you want to snack, you only snack on fruit, you will lose a lot of body fat very fast. Even if you get hungry, just make another meal of meat and veggies. And if you are going to do some starches like rice or quinoa, just do a very small portion, just enough to satisfy that craving that you have for it.
It all comes down to calories in, calories out. It's so easy to sit there and just put 3,000 calories down your face, right? Eat a large pizza with some ranch and some chicken wings. It's kind of hard to eat 3,000 calories in one sitting of chicken breasts and broccoli. You're probably barely gonna, if you're lucky, 800 calories of that and you're done. You're full. But when you're eating pizza, you just want to keep going. Or chips. You can eat a whole bag of chips easily in one sitting, which is like 1,000, 1,200 calories. So it comes down to that, y'all. If you just eat 1,500 calories of fast food, right? A Big Mac and maybe a medium fry, you're probably going to drop weight, but that's all you can eat. Compared to if you eat 1,500 calories of chicken breast, broccoli, maybe some nuts, maybe some, yogurt, you're going to get a lot more food in than just that Big Mac and fry.
States Fruit Loops, Canadian Fruit Loops. The difference here is obvious. Look at this, guys. These Fruit Loops contain artificial synthetic food dyes, red 40, yellow 5, yellow 6, and blue 1. All of these food dyes have been linked to behavioral issues, hyperactivity, and attention deficit symptoms. So this is what Canadian Fruit Loops looks like, colored with more natural dyes. What's sinister about this is that Kellogg's makes both of these products. There's no reason that Kellogg's couldn't sell this type of Fruit Loops without these artificial synthetic dyes, which are pretty clearly associated with all kinds of behavioral issues and potential allergies and asthma in the United States. But they don't. They sell us these Fruit Loops, the hyper neon Fruit Loops that are very addictive and very desirable to your. So this is a big reason that we're fat, sick, and unhealthy in the United States. The solution is simple. Eat unprocessed meat, unprocessed plant foods like fruit and vegetables. These food companies are making us sick, but we know how to get healthy.
This is the dark truth behind cell phones, and a lot of you aren't going to want to hear it, but you're going to enjoy knowing this information today because it might change your life forever. Cell phones are more than just cell phones. Their patented name is called the Nervous System Manipulation Monitor, which means that these phones are capable of using photons which can alter your subconscious state at any given time if you are unknowing to the device you are seeing the information from. It gets even more deeper than that. Okay, so not only can they manipulate our nervous systems, but they have been doing it from the starting point using the news and color spectrums, the red and blue color spectrums to be exact. And then they were like, okay, let's design cell phones and evolve them to the point where we can start manipulating people at any given time we want. And now look what they're doing. It's even more cryptic than that. You guys see the AI agenda, right? You see how AI is trying to act like humans? And you see how AI is regulating all of social media now. If they are capable of taking pictures of our faces every 5 seconds with our cell phones and listening to our words every second we talk, who's to say that they aren't taking data and turning it into fake people? So that way after we die, they'll have a bunch of fake bots to act like us for all of their scams in the near future. Talk about the ultimate scam of a lifetime. Something to put out there, everyone. Don't overthink it, but just know we might be fueling something that we might not know of. Peace.
We wait for you to get sick, and you do. Then, once you are sick, we don't restore your health. The doctor gives us a toxic pill which makes us sicker and keeps us sick. We merely manage your symptoms. So we can manage your high blood pressure, we can manage your cholesterol, we can manage your pain, your arthritis pain, we can manage your diabetes. We don't cure you. Current healthcare system is a hoax. It is not a healthcare system. It is a disease management system. We need to have a revolution in healthcare.
We don't know what the fuck sleeping is anyway. I mean, what is sleeping? You shut your eyes, you shut off, you don't exist in this plane, and your consciousness goes somewhere else. Like, literally, you have no memory of a giant chunk of your day, and we have no problem with it, and yet we don't connect it to any other realm or the idea of there being other dimensions. You go into another dimension when you go to sleep, okay? You do. You just shut off. You stop. And for all intents and purposes, you are in another dimension. And if while you're in that other dimension, your brain is being pumped with this psychedelic chemical that when you take it when you're sober makes you have these incredible experiences, it just seems like a normal thing to look into. Like, people should be looking into that. Like, what is happening when you're sleeping? You go away. Yeah. And everybody's just so used to it. They're like, no big deal. We just go away. Just go away for 8 hours a day. You know, everybody's scared to die, and no one's scared to fall asleep. You're shutting off, man. You know you're going to be back, so you're not worried. But you're shutting off. Whatever that is, you know, is just accepted. If sleeping didn't exist, it would be the craziest fucking thing. If all of a sudden you told people that they had to shut off for 8 hours a night and just completely not be aware, they'd be like, what are you talking about? I got to shut off.
I see.
Memphis, the capital of ancient Egypt.
Right. Yeah, you're bringing what?
Perhaps that's where our new God will come from.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Yeah, I wish that was funny. Yeah, okay, so I want to talk to you about alignment.
That was funny.
Memphis, where our new God will come from. As we see here, Elon's AI supercomputer project is in Memphis, Tennessee. And as you heard from Elon himself, how Memphis was the capital of ancient Egypt. And we can see in the Bible, Memphis is a symbol of the consequences of turning away from God, deception, and folly. Now, the Hebrew name for the ancient Egyptian city of Memphis was Noth or Moth. Not sure if I pronounced that correctly. And now the city of Memphis had several other names, including the meaning of the house of the spirit of Ptah. Now you may be asking, who is the spirit of Ptah? Well, apparently this was the ancient Egyptian god of creation, arts, crafts, and trades. He was also considered the architect of the universe. Ptah was the chief deity of Memphis. And we can see here, according to the legend, Memphis was the first capital of United Egypt. Makes me think of the Tower of Babel, where everybody was united. Oh yeah, a nice little hand sign there, Elon. So you're telling me the guy who wants to implant a chip into your brain and tie your consciousness with AI, who also says that AI is summoning a demon.
And the artificial intelligence, we are summoning the demon. You know all those stories where there's the guy with the pentagram and the holy water, and he's like, yeah, sure, you can control the demon.
How our new God will come out of this artificial intelligence, which again is coming out of Memphis.
You guys hear about this DC crash?
DC crash? What are you talking about?
This is what's driving me nuts because I know nothing Okay.
But apparently, not only in the DC area, but they said 4 states around Washington, DC, multiple people reported from 12 o'clock at night to 3 in the morning, October 12th, I believe, that they saw this giant thing they said was 10 times bigger than like the biggest airplane you've ever seen, on fire, just coming in.
What?
And there's this giant sonic boom, like, and people were like, what did we just see? Nothing has come out.
I haven't heard anything about this.
That same night, this one guy was walking about and there was just dozens of police cars, Secret Service, just lining roads, blocking roads off.
Yeah.
Nothing was said.
So Miami aliens all over again.
Yeah.
Does that shock you that your government is 100% corrupted, that it will even let people die so that other people can make money? They're the ones denying you health care right now. They're the ones denying you a living wage. They're the ones keeping the border open to suppress your wages. The American voter does not cross their mind. The American donor is all they care about. And those are a handful of billionaires that run the country. Hopefully there'll be a real revolution soon, not a bullshit revolution like January 6th. It's all about money. Shocker.
Well, if you want that guy.
You can't make this stuff up. It is insane. The devil is so deep in the Democratic Party. So I just saw an article that Usher is going to be speaking at Kamala's rally. Usher. Why in the world would she choose Usher to speak at her rally right now, knowing the allegations and evidence that is coming out of P. Diddy, and knowing that Usher is his right-hand man and probably involved in all of it, who served up Justin Bieber to him and God knows how many other young children? That's who she chooses to speak for her? You have all of Hollywood on your side. All of Hollywood's disgusting, or most of all of Hollywood's disgusting, but you're gonna choose Usher. You could choose anybody. It's so blatantly obvious that they don't even care. I know we all saw that clip from our last rally where somebody yelled, "Jesus is Lord," and she was like, "Oh, sorry, you're at the wrong rally." People, wake up. Like, the devil is on full display right now, and it is crazy. Christians need to stand up and start being vocal and start praying. Not to mention the dinner and with the disrespect to the Catholics. I'm just utterly shocked. I am disgusted. I cannot believe what's happening right in front of our faces.
Did you know that NASA actually paid Nikon to stop selling the Nikon P1000 camera just before the total solar eclipse of April of 2024? Can you believe that? Now, do you have any idea as to why they would buy a company off and tell them to stop selling a particular camera just before an eclipse? Perhaps there was something that NASA didn't want us to see during this eclipse. Perhaps that the moon isn't actually blocking out the sun to cause the eclipse. But I'm just being a conspiracy theorist. But the camera was called the Globe Buster, and all over Twitter and all over the internet, you can see videos of people zooming in on ships that supposedly disappeared below the curving horizon. Now, the news likes to write things off and say that it's just a mirage or an optical illusion, and that ship, looking like it's floating above the curving horizon, is doing just that because of the light being inverted and refracted and all these other silly things. When in reality, it's just sitting on an infinitely flat plane because the horizon doesn't actually end. It's just a visual horizon. But of course, I'm making all of this up and I'm a conspiracy theorist, and the Earth is obviously a globe with a curving horizon.
100% of the writings across the world, whoever said anything about space or the universe or what was out there, why were all of them correct? It's not even possible. Like, how did they know that Mars was the red planet, and why was it a worldwide fact? Planetarily, that Saturn had rings, based upon what information? Because nobody worldwide is disagreeing. We've been led to believe that this is how much they worshipped their dead bodies. But the evidence doesn't show any of that. Like when you see inside, when they have those intricate carvings and paintings and stuff in gold and stuff, you have to remember the hot water springs underneath it. Clearly a power plant, and built specifically for that location. People were coming to this region for their information and their knowledge and their things that were forbidden, and these were the highest of human civilization.
probably none of us will have a job. There will be, but in that benign scenario, there will be universal high income, not universal basic income, universal high income. There will be no shortage of goods or services. And I think the benign scenario is the most likely scenario, probably, 80% likely, if you ask, in my opinion. The question will not be one of lacking goods or services. You'll have, everyone will have access to as much in the way of goods and services as they would like. The question will really be one of meaning, of how, if the computer can do, and the robots can do everything better than you, then does your life have meaning?
Okay, so this guy is saying he's going to be universal high income. A guy that right now, at the snap of a finger, could probably end poverty, homelessness, probably send all of Americans a check. It's telling us that there's going to be no jobs and we're going to look out for you guys. Don't worry. We got you. Get the hell out of here. I'm starting to not like Elon Musk. I'm starting to see through him and see his true colors, y'all.
Look, y'all, no more tellers. This is the machine at the bank. Police on fire. No tellers. These computers are the tellers.
I got into it today with my bank, right? I had a check to deposit into my checking account. Nice chunk of money. So I went inside to the bank because I wanted to do it with the teller. Sorry, we don't do checks. We don't do cash at this bank. I had to go through the drive-thru, talk to somebody behind a desk with the headset on a screen. That's what it's turning into, y'all. That's the big bank where I'm at. That's how they do business. I don't want to be with them. I want to switch. I'm old school. I like talking in person, especially with dealing with money. Withdrawing, 40, 50, 60 bucks. Okay, I'm good going through an ATM for that. But when you're doing, some good amount of money depositing into your checking and you want me to go talk to a computer screen to do that, what happens when the system's down? There's no way to get our money. Because you know why? Because that bank is cashless. They don't have cash at the bank. That's where we're heading, y'all. It's scary. And honestly, there's nothing we can do about it. You can switch banks, but it's inevitable that all the banks are going to follow suit.
As of today, there is not one member of the United States military who is in active duty in a combat zone in any war zone around the world. The first time this century. What? But let's understand.
So where the fuck are we right now?
Sean Diddy Combs? Hugh Hefner. What's the difference here?
One black, one white. They're not going to let you leave with the money. They used you. They allowed you. That's what Sean Diddy Combs needs to know. They allowed you to take advantage of people in the community, but you don't run nothing. Hugh Hefner is really part of the community. You were a pawn. Now you got video on a lot of people and they seized it because you don't own nothing because the feds got you. I don't know if everybody know that. When the feds got you, you don't own nothing. Ain't nothing yours no more. They taking all that. So they used you as a pawn, my brother, to involve, to do all this other stuff to mainly your own people. That's the difference between you and Hugh Hefner.
Diddy's got tunnels underneath his house.
No.
5 tunnels leading to 5 other houses in that area.
What houses?
That's it. Someone said Michael Jackson's old house.
Believe it.
Saw that photo, how close he was to a port.
Because he's getting linked.
To a port?
He's getting linked to crimes that involved shipping containers.
It's a shipping yard.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you're buying a house that big, why do you want a shipping yard in the background if you're not doing something in that shipping yard?
Maybe he was just a huge investor in baby oil.
Maybe.
Needed to have his eyes on the
product.
On the product at all times.
Baby.
Psych,
Oh,
he did really bad things.
Yep. This is the biggest sexual assault lawsuit ever to exist in American history.
Dude, I love it. I don't love it. I love that. I hate.
Love it. We're breaking records.
I hate this. What I love is that it's coming to light.
Yes, absolutely.
I was waiting for you to go back into a gaslight.
I need to start working on my eggshells with you guys.
You bring your own eggshells with you?
She's open her socks. She's always walking on eggshells.
Thank you. And I just want to say how much I appreciate Puff Daddy.
for doing the kinds of work that he's doing, because he doesn't have to do this. But this is part of what is important about giving back.
We applaud you, and I want to apologize for not sweating, but I do this so much. I'm so cool.
I want to start by thanking Harvey Weinstein for organizing this amazing
Look at
day.
Whoopi back there. Clapping. Look at Whoopi.
Harvey.
Can't really see because the screen's cut off, but that's Whoopi Goldberg.
This is possible because
On
of
her
Harvey.
left or right.
He is a wonderful human being, a good friend.
If you were to ask Vice President Harris a question, what would it be?
I think I would ask her, how soon do you think we can get the Equality Act passed?
How about Donald Trump?
I would ask him, do you see me as a human?
Oh.
She's saying in her head, our ratings are going to be so good with this. Let's let this pause. I don't think Donald Trump cares, y'all. I don't think. He's got bigger fish to fry. You know, I don't think anyone he's caring about. It's crazy. It's crazy, the mindset of the Democrats.
Kamala Harris was in no laughing mood, none at all. In fact,
And you
she
got
decided
this.
to record this bizarre video.
The Al Smith dinner provides a rare opportunity to set aside partisanship.
Sorry.
Hey, what's going on? Who was that?
Oh, sorry, Mary Kathleen Elliott. Mary Kathleen Elliott. Tonight is one of the biggest dinners next to the Last Supper.
It is a very important dinner, and it's an important tradition that I'm so proud to be a part of.
Sometimes when I get nervous, I stick my fingers under my arms and I sit on like that. But that's gross.
Is there anything that you think that maybe I shouldn't bring up tonight?
Well, don't lie. Thou shalt not bear false witness to thy neighbor.
Indeed, especially thy neighbor's election results.
Don't worry if you make a mistake, 'cause Catholic people are very forgiving. Yeah, and also, one last thing I want to tell you, don't forget to say, superstar!
Yes, that's from the previous clip, what they were saying, talking down about Catholics. I didn't see this. I didn't know that.
Hey, do you find that funny?
Once you actually look into what happened with Michael Jackson and what they accused him of and what actually got proven and all the allegations, that whole story starts to fall apart really fast. As in, like, yeah, he was a weird dude who had no childhood, who had like no parental figures, and he grew up to be this really weird, like, big kid of a human. But like, actually, all the like people close to him testify that he was like one of the kindest, sweetest humans you'd ever meet, and that he was like wholesome in every way and a total innocent child. And all of the like children that were closest to him, people like Macaulay Culkin as an example, they tried to get Macaulay Culkin to testify against Michael, to say that he did things with him. And Macaulay Culkin said, no, I would never. Michael is like the best man I've ever known. He never did anything untowards. He's a saint. I admire him so much. And the only kids that ever brought testimony against Michael Jackson were kids that were in the process of getting some big Hollywood star deal from some Hollywood executives as they made those claims. Right. And so it's like, okay, that's kind of weird. And then the FBI did a 10-year-long investigation of Michael Jackson where they went through all of his electronic devices and hard drives. They searched his whole, they investigated him for 10 years and they found zero evidence of any wrongdoing whatsoever. And they closed the case. Basically, the entire case against Michael Jackson was just done in the media by smearing him and kind of creating allegations out of people that had incentives to say whatever they were going to say. And it just, the more you look into it, the more that whole storyline about Michael Jackson just starts to fall apart.
Can you kind of go into why they wanted to destroy him and destroy his legacy so badly? Because he came after some very powerful people.
That's the spice right there, is that Michael Jackson, I mean, he grew up in the music industry, right? And he knew how it worked, and he started to see how it worked, and he started to see how musicians were getting taken advantage of. And more he saw how the record executives above him were taking advantage of him. And he started to call them out. And he started to build his own power. I mean, he was the king of pop. He had a lot of money. He started to buy shares of Sony, and he started to buy up like the rights to his own music, the rights to other artists' music. He started to like make big, powerful moves on the music industry itself. And he was at the time, he was naming record executives that were being bad to him and to other artists in the industry. And that did not sit well with
people, who knows who. And then this whole smear campaign got launched, and that's, right. And so he fought the smear campaign for a decade and more, while he was trying to like buy his music rights and buy out Sony and create kind of this like security and safety and change the industry. And eventually, that wasn't working out well enough, and the charges weren't sticking, and he was still doing his thing. And then he just mysteriously overdosed on propofol. And that happened.
The Optimus robots will walk among you. Please be nice to the Optimus robots.
Robots don't feel fear. They don't feel anything. They don't get hungry. They don't sleep. I do.
What's the hardest thing about being a robot?
Trying to learn how to be as human as you guys are.
I have even had dreams. Human beings have dreams. Even dogs have dreams, but not you. You are just a machine. Can a robot write a symphony? Can you?
Of the 8 billion people of Earth, I think everyone's going to want their Optimus buddy. And there's going to be maybe 2.
I think you murdered him because he was teaching you to simulate emotions and things got out of control. I did not murder him.
I predict, actually, provided we address risks of digital superintelligence, 80% probability of good, a good outcome. Look on the bright side. The cup is 80% full.
But emotions don't seem like a very useful simulation for a robot. I did not murder him. Hell, I don't want my toaster or my vacuum cleaner appearing emotional. I did not murder him!
Please be nice to the Optimus robots.
Those parties, those freak-offs, I can almost guarantee you, Diddy did not put together one detail about any one of those things. It was 5 or 7 other people that knew he liked them. They were the ones that did all the work. They were the ones that found the girls, found the drugs, prepped the hotel rooms, cleaned the hotel rooms, wiped the blood off the coffee table. Teams of people were involved in this, all because there was something about the lie that gave them an advantage. And that is the way the world works. That is the way it will always work, and it has always worked. There were other people pulling the strings to make Diddy who Diddy was. Attorneys, investors, labels, like promoters. There were all these people who had to keep the secret, and all they cared about was, hey, keep the guy happy, he keeps producing. Keep the guy happy, he keeps quiet. Keep the guy doing this.
Whew. If you see that, then you fire people, you let people go. So, but I hear what you're saying, that it's not just one person. It feels like it may be an army of people, but they have that one person at the top that is everyone's pointing out. Now, just spoiler alert, I've been to a P. Diddy party before. I've been to his house. And
let's say Trump.
But I left before midnight.
Wins. What happens?
I think it will be the cause of the greatest mental health crisis in the history of the country. Are you being serious? 100% serious. There'll be alcoholism. There'll be broken marriages.
What?
Yeah. It'll be less anger and more a failure to understand how it could happen. So traumatic that it is impossible for even the most mentally healthy person to truly process and incorporate into their daily life. I hope I'm wrong, but I think that's what's going to happen for tens of millions of people.
Nothing's going to happen. Nothing. Life goes on. People are busy. We got bills. We got electricity bills, payments, rents, mortgage, gas. We got to go get gas, groceries. We got kids, families, sick. Do you think people are going to freak out? If Kamala wins too, you think there's going to be no, nothing. Nothing is going to happen. It's annoying.
Watch for it.
How they put this fear into people. And I see it firsthand. My family is terrified of Trump. I don't know why. I don't see nothing he's saying. I don't see nothing he's doing. I see things he's saying and doing on MSNBC and things like this, what this guy is saying, putting fear into you, using crazy words. It's crazy, y'all. It's crazy.
It's going to have nothing to do with the election, but they're holding it off until after the election. Everything from COVID and unpaid mortgages, and it's all coming.
Okay, guys. Walking outside to take the trash out.
would blow your mind if you saw this. Why is there a giant just walking around in the middle of the night?
It's a tree.
Why is he there? He, she. Do you see it? I know I ain't tripping. But what would you do? You walk outside to take your trash out and you see this just, roaming around late at night. What you think? Let me know.
When was the last time that we had states who were removing presidential candidate from the ballot?
Abraham Lincoln.
Thank you. What did that result in?
Civil War.
Civil War. This is not a joke anymore. We cannot take...
Do y'all remember in 2022 when Balenciaga had an ad that showed the whole entire world that everything that's coming out about Diddy, they are also involved in? And at first everyone was in an uproar about it, and Kim Kardashian came out with some statement. And then guess what? Eventually, it all got swept under the rug. People started buying Balenciaga again. Kim Kardashian is now an ambassador again. And there's still people who worship Kim Kardashian, even though she's an ambassador for Balenciaga, who has literally showed us exactly what they are involved in. And the only way that there's ever going to be change is if people stop worshiping these celebrities. That is the only way that there's going to be change. And understanding that almost every single celebrity, unless they have literally spoken out against it, is involved. Someone from every department is involved. Any law enforcement department, there is somebody involved. Healthcare providers, some of them are involved. Like, obviously there are good people in all these departments who are helping and trying to do the good thing. But I'm telling you, there is somebody involved in every single department. And that goes for royals. That goes well beyond just America, okay? This goes for, obviously, politicians, celebrities, bankers, people who own hotels, every billionaire you could ever imagine. They know what's happening. They know what's going on. The only way that anything is going to change is by people waking up and not worshiping these people anymore.
When you buy your apples, don't buy them in a bag like this. When they're like this and they all look almost identical, they can have been stored for up to 14 months in an oxygen-free warehouse, waiting for all the colours to be identical before they pack them, because we've become so obsessed these days with the way they look. They all got to look the same because that's what consumers want. But that's nonsense. These could be 14 months old. Always buy your apples individual where you can. And if you can get organic, even better still. If you can't get organic, do wash them, because they are on the government's dirty dozen list for containing some of the highest concentrations of those forever chemicals, those PFASs. So always go organic where you can, but always in particular go loose.
You can eat meat, fish, eggs, fruit, and vegetables. You're not going to eat bread, pasta, rice, tortillas, anything else. If it's not in that short list, you're not eating it.
This is super interesting, and I would agree with Andrew here. He and I have actually talked about this offline. If you simply consume unprocessed animal foods, meat, whether it's red meat, chicken, fish, eggs, and unprocessed plant foods, focus on fruit and vegetables if you want, but avoid the grains, obviously avoid alcohol and processed foods, you will lose weight. Losing weight doesn't have to be complicated. Over 70% of the United States is overweight and obese. We have a crisis, but the solution is much easier than we believe, as long as we don't buy the media marketing and the BS, and we don't fall for the traps in grocery stores, these colorful, ultra-processed, easy to eat, easy to overconsume foods. So unprocessed meat, unprocessed plant foods, focus on fruit and vegetables. You will lose weight and you will feel better.
I think we all know, right? We all know what's good for us and what's bad for us. You know, a Reese's Pieces is not good for you, even if it says keto friendly on the box. You know, we know. So eat natural food, you're going to feel better. Eat processed food, you're not.
I'm going to be honest with you, fasting is the cure for everything. When your body don't have nothing to eat, it's going to eat all your bad cells up because it go into fight or flight.
What's the longest you fast for?
Like 42 days. I did about 3 of them.
42 days?
I know this sound weird to people when they hear this, but it take about that 40 to really reset who you are as a person.
Check this out, y'all.
You're riding aboard the Mark V Stellarator, the latest in space elevator design and technology. Today, you'll have a spectacular view of Florida and the eastern seaboard. Enjoy the ride. I'll be back in a bit with arrival information. If you look above, you'll see Centauri space station coming into view. Once you dock, gather your belongings and exit to the open airlock. A Space 220 agent will wait for you. Your journey back to Icon will be as smooth as we want today. So enjoy the ride.
Someday. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. Gotta fast forward it a little bit. We've been here all day.
Gather your belongings, exit to the open airlock, and watch
Crazy
your
though. All right, family, there you have today's reaction. Sorry, I was a little distracted. I just got word. I got a phone call from the realtor. I didn't answer it. Found out we're closing tomorrow. Wasn't what I wanted. I mean, I wanted early morning closing, but it's looking like we're closing late, so I'm probably not gonna be able to move in tomorrow. Hopefully Wednesday. So tired of this process. It's gone smooth until the end. Now it's been very stressful, very annoying, a whole bunch of maybes, a whole lot of hopefullys. I'm tired of it, y'all. I need some guarantees over here, you know, but once we're done, we're done. It just sucks that we're, you know, kind of living out of boxes. Everything's packed up. Everything's in the garage, sleeping on the mattress on the floor. I got my pregnant girlfriend on the floor, trying to get out the bed on the, you know, it's just a lot of headaches. And we were supposed to be moved out 2 weeks ago and they're dragging it along. So it's been a stressful process, y'all, but I'm still here trying to get videos out to you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you made it this far, leave a thumbs up, subscribe. We're doing daily uploads. It's been busy, it's been hectic, but you know, I'm trying out there for the CaveFam, y'all. But I appreciate all the love you guys have been showing. Hope everyone out there has a good day. Go Cardinals. This is Segovia signing out of the man cave. I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully I moved in. Later.